think I was talking to you yesterday and just decided we would do kind of a New Year's theme thing, and I was like, hey, let's talk about best videos of the year, except for that requires a lot of work.
Yep.
It requires a lot of, I'd have to go back and research. I was trying to actually, the one that came to mind was last year's video was London is Burning. That was November 2014, and I was thinking it was the beginning of the year.
Oh.
So let's not talk about videos.
Okay.
I feel like we'll miss a bunch. This isn't
Actually, the only one that I think I had thought about this morning, because I was really just in a slump of being like, I can't remember any videos this past year. I don't know if that's because I don't like parkour videos anymore, or just like everything is just kind of washed through and like one filter now. But Will Sutton's video with the transitions when he did the rolls, the selfie stick. That one's the.
That's like your favorite, just because it was something different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it wasn't just like tripod shots and people following shots of like parkour, like even gimbal videos, even though those are cool. But like he tried to do something a little bit different, and it was creative, and it wasn't just parkour. Like he didn't have to do the craziest lines in it, but it was like, oh, there's something to this video. Right. It's not just training footage. I like that.
Yeah, I think when I think back to best videos of the year, I'm almost more thinking best athlete of the year. So I thought of Jannis Schauer's his 2015 video.
Yeah.
Was just a pretty solid display of everything. Like his skill set's huge. He has height stuff. He has everything. So
made step faults popular again.
Yeah, I don't go right away to video ideas. So that's interesting. But yeah, I think that trying to come up with best videos of the year, it's almost like a full-time job.
Yeah.
It would have to be.
Well, I mean, that's what the question is, like, what video stood out. It's not like what athlete stood out. It's like what the video is interesting because of a certain thing. It's not just the athlete. Like, you could make a video about Mish, and unless it's like edited really well, I'm not gonna necessarily have it stand out in my head of my history of videos I've watched throughout the year.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're talking about like the person, like I'd say like Jannis Schauer definitely stands out.
Yeah. But it wasn't the best video.
Yeah.
So I think I just watched it before I came here again, just to kind of review it, and I found myself halfway through kind of like, okay, I don't need to watch this anymore. So yeah, it wasn't the greatest video, but he's definitely one of those, like, I guess, breakout athlete of the year, if there was such a thing. So I guess then this is kind of maybe even more difficult question, but if you think back to the year of 2015, and I guess this could be personal or it could be worldwide or something that affected parkour on a global scale, but what do you think kind of was like the highlight of the year for you? First thing that comes to mind.
First thing that comes to mind was probably NAPC, but that's because that's something that I was here for.
Yeah, you were here.
Yeah, it was a big thing, and getting to see international athletes come out too. It would have been nice to have more, like just the prospect of having DK come out, and then having Zen come out, and like the outcome of that, of him having this really interesting battle with Dante, like inadvertently, of trying to like land a triple cork, and you could feel everything building up, and then like finally the resolve of that, of him winning the freestyle comp, and like landing the triple cork, and him barely being able to believe it, and everybody going crazy. It was like, oh yeah, I was there for that. That was really cool. So like that's something I haven't gotten to experience in the parkour world, and it feels like a shift. It's like, oh shit. It's like it's something that's making the sport, I think itself, to me, feel a little bit more professional, to the point that now I feel like I'm part of something big or bigger.
Yeah, I definitely had this feeling in those moments at NPC 2015 where it felt like we almost got lucky to have those things happen, because they were a big deal in the moment, and if people weren't there, they don't really know. But I even think a lot of people that watched it online kind of got that feeling too. I know Jay Siley, just like the thought of it coming down to who could land the better triple cork was a huge deal to him. Saw some comments on that. Yeah, it just seemed like kind of a stroke of luck, like that. You can't expect those things to happen at every competition, and the format sort of allowed that, and things just kind of fell in place where we had this epic moment at the end of it. So that was really cool.
It's like a sort of, if you build it, they will come kind of thing that happened. It's just the fact that like you said the format too, I think definitely helped, but it's just the fact that you set up a competition, invited people to come, and it's just like, all right, go, and let's see what happens. And then everybody just like kind of clicked, and it was really cool, man. It was a beautiful experience to be able to be there and see that and hang out with everybody. And I don't know what like the air whip challenge and things are like. That'll be really cool to experience in itself, but just getting a taste of that like in North America, because it's not happening anywhere else in this continent pretty much. I don't know what's going on in Mexico. There's probably some cool stuff.
Well, like as you know, I'm a pretty big fan of just parkour competitions in general now, and I didn't used to be. And I find myself just trying to hype myself up for them anytime I hear about an event happening. So like I hype myself up for Red Bull and tried to wake up to catch the live stream, and the same thing for Air Whip. But I think because there's not really an exciting format, like those two competitions kind of just showcase like the athletes, but they don't. It doesn't necessarily feel like a competition, and maybe that's how some people feel it should be, and maybe not. But it doesn't. I don't really feel like there's any sort of chase going on where it's like, oh, this person got so many points, and then oh, let's see if this person can get more points, kind of thing. Where you get that in other competitive sports. Yeah.
I'd like to see things just kind of formatted in a way that allows the audience to follow along a little bit better. Because any kind of speed course, you like to see like the score go up right away, and it's like, oh, this is how fast that guy did. This is the guy that's previous to him, and this is the leaderboard, and it's just a little bit more interactive that way. And I think for like points as well, like when I watch Red Bull, sometimes I'm like 453. And it is good. Okay.
Yeah, they'll often say things like, "This is the highest score ever in Red Bull." Like, what does that mean? Who was judging last year, and what is the?
Yeah, show me like a breakdown of that too.
Yeah.
Like get me involved, but I think some of that's still lacking. But I mean, to be fair, it's always going to be like a process of developing that, and it seems to be going in that direction.
Yeah, I think it's coming along. I don't know if there's much intention to change it. I felt like Red Bull definitely had a better overall graphics package and things this year than previous years, and like the hype videos in between the finals and stuff were really well done. So they're definitely putting more into it. We'll see what happens for future ones. What about downsides 2015?
Downsides.
What were the lows?
Oh no, my personal life is coming.
Yeah. Okay. That's okay.
Downsides, I don't know. Like for me at least, it's just being held back by injuries still.
Yeah.
Like I had surgery on my ankle, my right ankle. Now I'm waiting for surgery on my left ankle for an injury that happened like 6 or 7 years ago now. That's just like stupid little bone fragments drifting out. But on like a grander scale, I don't know. Just watching everybody around me develop in different ways, that it's like people are getting pulled in different directions of professionalism in parkour or professionalism in stunts, or like what you want to be, and everybody narrowing that down and everybody growing up, like witnessing that through everyone is really interesting. Because I think for a long time, at least parkour athletes and parkour dudes and gals, man, like we're a very youthful bunch. Everybody kind of holds on to like a boyhood mentality, and I think that shift is to get into adulthood is really difficult sometimes, because I think we got into parkour because we just want to play. We just want to enjoy ourselves, and we want to hold on to that as long as we can. And at that point where you got to get slapped with reality and realize, like, is this my job? Is this my career? I think it's really difficult, but yeah, that's been a tough thing to see. I think I've seen that through every single one of my friends too, and I've seen that in myself for this past year for sure.
2015, the year of growing up.
Yeah, transformative year.
It's crazy too, that just the amount of I guess younger kids that were I knew were going to be good, and just kind of saw them come to be this year. Like going back to NEPC, we had Jovi, who's 16, and Oliver, who's also 16.
Yeah, I think he's 16.
And they both competed with a bunch of adults and held their own.
Oh, Nathan. Like I remember meeting Nathan like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and even thinking then, be like, oh, this kid's awesome. And then seeing him come back, like, I hadn't seen like his growth spurt either. Come back, and I'm like, oh, he's an adult now. he's gonna be probably really strong. And then seeing what he could do here, like at NAPC, seeing a submission video, and being like, whoa. All right, that's some next gen stuff, and I'm witnessing that happen.
Corbin too. Corbin is
oh.
because he's quite young as well.
Yeah, I remember going to LA for the what was the event?
The Tempest Games.
Tempest Games, yeah, and seeing Corbin there, and I think he was 16 at the time. And he
Yeah,
just
because
ripped
that
it
was 2.5 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, and like people couldn't keep up with him on so many things, and just thinking, oh man, what is this kid's future gonna be like?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people you'll see that you think, oh, I hope he sticks with it because this kid's gonna be amazing. And getting to see some of the people who have, it's inspiring. It's a little annoying. I'm getting older.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, oh, that's what's possible in the sport. And a lot of these guys are so humble and just really good people. So.
I made this prediction earlier this year. I just want to ask you, true or false, NAPC 2016, all the competitors are under 20.
Oh. No. That's false. Yeah. Majority.
Majority.
I could definitely see. Yeah, I think there'll be guys over 20 for sure.
I think because
there's going to be more people who competed this year that are going to avoid it.
The reason I kind of came, part of the reason I came to that conclusion too is that a lot of the guys that even podiumed are kind of talking about
stopping.
Yeah, maybe I don't want to do the next competition, because they start to see the other things that they can do and take part of, such as commentating or judging. Those are things that require expertise and that require someone who's been doing it for a while and that's mature and grown. So it kind of makes sense of it.
That's kind of a tough thing to accept too. I think that's tough for me to think about, and maybe it's not always the reality, and I'm not at that competitive level either. But just thinking like, oh, I want to step back and do this now. It's like, but I want to hold on to being an athlete for as long as I can. Like, I want a podium, I want to win stuff, I don't want to compete with my friends. But you're gonna get older, and you're gonna have to face that stuff, man. Maybe I could be a commentator.
We really don't know what the, I guess, peak age or the age that you can continue to peak for in parkour is, because it changes sport to sport. You got sports like soccer, where guys play until they're like 40, and still dominate.
And they come to America, and they're still amazing.
Yeah. And even skateboarding, a sport where you'd think that it's always going to be the young guys, dudes in their like mid 30s.
Yeah, it was really cool. I was talking to my cousin's husband, Dallas, who's a professional rollerblader, about this too, and he's getting a little bit older, like in his late 20s. I think he's actually maybe in 30s, but they're just talking about like the style of an older athlete compared to a younger athlete. Like, there's always going to be things that you're going to be able to do that a younger athlete's not going to be able to do, but it's just finding that balance. Like, I'm not going to be hucking a double back tuck anytime soon, because I'm just going to slam my ankles on the ground and retire. And like, it's the same thing for him in that sport, is he's not going to do some of the crazier drops and things because it's too risky now. But like his technical ability is probably going to be a little bit higher on certain things than the younger athletes. And that's where he's going to resonate with like a fan base in some way, right? So you'll have a place to fit in. It's just finding that.
Right.
And that's maybe it's part of the journey, man.
Okay, so 2016 then, true or false? True or false, 2016 is the year that we see more smaller, innovative techniques thrown and less big stuff.
For older athletes, probably. The younger guys are gonna have interest in that too, I think. But people are always gonna keep throwing big stuff. It's always that push of like, what else can we do? What else can we do?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw that video that was like circling Facebook the other couple of days, where the guy does a huge dive front off a roof and then like steps out of it and does this crazy tumbling line.
I didn't see it.
I mean, it's just gymnastics.
It's just gymnastics with a huge drop.
Yeah, it's like a huge front flip drop, and then he goes and tumbles onto a picnic bench, tumbles off, and then does like some tumbling onto concrete and double folds. But it's like, whoa, somebody can do that? I didn't know that could be possible.
All right, when we're done here, you're going to have to find that for me.
Okay. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Do you get as excited about stuff like that, though? About the next, like, huge thing? Or does it depend really on what it is?
I don't know. I'm usually pretty late to the party with those things. Like, I'll see it, and then I'll just be like, okay, okay, I don't want to get on top of the hype train because that happens with a lot of things like Coney, Coney 2012. Everybody fucking posts that stuff, and I think it's the same thing. Like there's some sort of reactionary thing that happens when you see something so big that you don't want to look into it. You just want to be like, oh, this is awesome, and post it right away.
Yeah.
But usually when I see that, I'm trying to refrain from being so reactionary. I don't know. It's fine to get hyped on stuff like that, man. People are crazy.
Pretty much. Okay, so personal goals now, 2016.
You go first.
What are you gonna do? well, I got a big thing to get over, right? So, I think that's my thing right now. Is first of all, I want to see if I can get back to where I was with my injury, because I really don't know. It's a full rupture. And a lot of people say that you can't come back through stuff like that. So, I'd like to. I was really 2015 was like my best year for parkour, like easily, and felt like I was starting to improve at things that I wanted to, and just kind of came to a really surprising halt all of a sudden.
Sure.
And 2016, I'm just hoping to get back to where I was, and hopefully be able to keep continuing on the journey, I guess, from there.
Yeah, I think even though the position you're in kind of sucks for a really obvious reason, but you're also capable of adapting. And I think we've seen that as you've been recovering too. Like you've been weight training, but you've also been doing parkour still. Like when you had your boot on, you were doing stuff on the bars, and then I saw you jumping around yesterday with your shoes off, and you're still doing vaults and everything. So
not exactly jumping.
You're hopping.
A little bit of stepping, a little bit of light stepping, and control practice. You know?
There's ways around injuries, and it's tough when you think about being held back and what you're not going to be able to do. But once you can get over that and not let it take you down, it's like, oh, I can adapt to something that I still find joy in.
Yeah, I think because returning to like doing bigger jumps might take a while. I've thought about just playing around and trying to like learn more tricks too, as being kind of a thing to do. But I don't know. It depends what comes first. If all of a sudden I feel like I can jump, then I like jumping more than trying to like figure out tricks. So I'll probably get back to jumping sooner if I can. But if it's not happening soon enough, then maybe messing around the foam pit might be something to look forward to.
Yeah, it's always fun.
All right, your turn, man.
Yeah, actually going off of that, like I found myself really avoiding foam pits lately, because I'll be like, okay, I want to practice double folds or like double flyways, and then I think, well, I'm not in a condition to be landing this on concrete in the first place, so what am I wasting my time for? And maybe that's not the best attitude, but there's so many other things I think to work on in the meantime. Like I'm waiting, like I'm happy with the recovery I had of my right ankle from after getting surgery for that, but the left one is holding me back in such a way that I can't jump without feeling pain right now. So it's mostly finding ways around that, like doing lashes and dive rolls and things I find really fun, and that's just it's gonna help me so much if I come back.
Yeah.
I don't really know if I'm going to at this point, so we'll see. And then the training program that I had been going on that you made, that is for strength and conditioning, like I feel great on that program. The tune-up phase. But maybe thinking less about wasting my time on doing stuff on the spring floor and thinking like I want to get this flip right. I just want to do this really clean and land it this way, and instead of focusing on that, because every single time I do that I find like I end up jamming my ankle in some way,
Right.
and it just feels pointless for the time being. It's like it's like another voice in my head being like, why are you doing this, man? Why are you wasting your time doing this? Like there's so many other things you could be doing. So trying to adapt to that over the next year is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I guess thinking more like big picture or long-term goals is kind of the...
What can I put on the side and come back to when I'm fully recovered, and what are the important things to focus on right now that's going to help me when I recover to be a better athlete, or like a more well-rounded athlete perhaps.
Cool. I remember I was with you last year, actually around New Year's, and you were saying New Year's resolution was get surgery on your right ankle.
Oh yeah. Oh no, this year's my left.
It's okay though, but surgery on the right was successful, so.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of numbing because I'm pretty sure when they go in for surgery, they don't take as much care and caution as I wish they would. Maybe it's just the healthcare system here in Canada, but they nicked my nerve a little bit.
You know, there's a lot of parkour guys that I think have a similar issue that aren't aware of it, and it kind of, I think if you have a recurring sprain, on an ankle, it actually typically means that there's some sort of fracture or something.
Yeah.
Something more serious, I guess, going on there, and there's operations. Because I know a lot of guys that have had your operation too. They get like bone chunks or spurs removed, and same thing. Like, oh, now my ankle feels great. So
Now moves the way
get
it's
your
supposed to.
ankles X-rayed 2016.
Yeah, you might as well, man. I want that stuff coming back like years down the road. It's funny, all the injuries that I think people are afraid of getting. Like, I've had surgery on my back and surgery on my ankle before, and I just get questions from people all the time and being like, hey man, I got this back pain, I'm not really sure what it is. Do you think it's a herniated disc? Do as much as you can to get it checked out, man, because it's pointless just to be like, I think it's this, I think it's that. And there's avoidance there too, if you don't want to know the truth. I didn't want to know if I was really injured or not.
Okay, so last thing, what in 2016 are you not personally, but things happening in parkour or videos coming out? What are you looking forward to?
Personally, just trying to dive into more like concept. I was talking to you about that before too. Videos that I want to be able to make with not just like a training video, but I want to put a lot of creativity into it and just have shots that more like maybe B-roll, you would say, but I don't know, take more like an artistic approach to the videos that I make and involve like my interest in film, music, and parkour all into one, and just go into that full-heartedly and see what comes of it. That's what I really like to do. And I'd like to see that in other people's videos too, man. I think there's a lot of cool, creative people in the parkour world that get stuck up with making just training videos and maybe don't put enough creativity into them. That could, but at the same time, like, everybody's doing their own thing. So
Yeah, I think we are definitely entering the period of time where there's an oversaturation of parkour content, particularly in video form, because we have Instagram and things too. So it's like, I've seen people do jumps, I've seen people do this and that, and if that's going to be the continued medium of sharing and exposure for parkour, there definitely needs to be some new things happening.
yeah, it'd be cool to see what's going to rise above this year.
I'm really looking forward to the Storm Tour video.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
That's like, yeah, when I think of 2016 and things that are going to happen, other than things that I'm personally going to be a part of, but just things that I don't have any control over that I'm looking forward to, that's the I thought it was going to be out already. So the fact that it's not out, hopefully that's a good thing. Hopefully that means that even more work is going into it. But just some of the raw footage that got leaked from that, or not leaked, but that they released, like just short Instagram clips and things, it just looks like some crazy stuff went down, and some really high level, parkour stuff, not just like the newest trick or anything like that, but like really high level parkour stuff.
I'm looking forward to seeing more stuff from Merm.
Well, they're in that.
Yeah, I know. It just made me think about that. Not just parkour, but like their clothing line wise, I really want to see them advance with that, because I think they're in a very interesting direction. And they might be the only guys that I can think about that are going in that direction right now. So they have a good advantage.
You don't think like Farang kind of does similar things?
I don't care about Farang. Like, honestly, like, their clothing has never been interesting to me. I feel like it's missing something. Like, there's too much of a branding of the logo and everything that's put into their stuff, and they're like kind of almost taking like the number 5 Chanel shirt. It's just, this stuff's boring to me, man. I don't care. Like, it's like some kind of personification that they're trying to go for that's almost not them, but like they want to be that. But I think like Merm is wholeheartedly, everything is in their design that's truly a reflection of like Brandon, Dylan, and Knox, and I think that's really, really cool.
Do you think Farang, like, would it be correct to say that you think like Farang is kind of trying to replicate like other fashion companies?
Maybe, like, yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Maybe they're thinking in a way, and they are trying to sell the brand, but you're gonna resonate with the right people, maybe. Like, it's just not me, and hopefully other people feel the same, because I would love for Merm to get more support. And other things that I'm excited about is actually the Origins youth team, because I've been lucky enough to spend like a little bit of time with you guys when everybody's training over the past couple months, and there's some sort of like camaraderie that goes on in that little group, man. That's gonna be really exciting to see.
We got some cool kids.
Yeah, we got some really nice kids, man. Like, just really
I think there's a lot of cool
people
kids out
too.
there.
Like, yeah, and Tom's Ascension video that released just a little while ago, like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Was that on the first?
I put it up.
That's
on
this
first,
year
yeah.
still, so that counts. Yeah. Really excited for seeing that. It's not on mobile, so I haven't been able to actually watch it because I've been away from my computer. Yeah, so I'm
you're
very
not my
sorry,
friend
Tom.
anymore. Okay, well, we're just gonna go watch that. I put all the work.
Yeah, go watch it.
Yeah.
It was mentioned in Giles Compiles too.
I think I'll probably put it up on Facebook. I was talking to Tom about he's in Florida, so when he gets back, it's been doing pretty good views wise and stuff. But I think I don't know, YouTube just it's hard to actually get content out there. It's a big struggle. I don't know. Maybe 2016 is the year that Parkour gets off Facebook and starts trying to go back to using YouTube so that you know, we have some exposure there because right now it just seems like you have to put everything up on Facebook and then it literally lasts for 5 minutes. You literally something will come up on Facebook, it'll be popular for 5 minutes, and then everyone forgets about it.
Yep.
Because it disappears to the ether of Facebook. So, yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe we need a forum again or something, I don't know.
Yeah, urban free flow.
But I would love to see the parkour community get off Facebook and maybe try to, maybe someone needs to make a website or something that everyone can rally on like other sports do. But.
Core events.
Anyway, man.
No. Mine's empty.
We're going to end on that. Oh, an empty cup. Okay.
Can you give me some?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you some. All right, here you go, man. You like cream and sugar?
Yeah.
All right, here you go.
It's the best.
All right. There you
Do
go.
you know cream causes inflammation in your joints?
All right, to no spills in 2016.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.